On this week's GTA 5 O'Clock, we give you the opportunity to win an awesome GTA 5 goodie bag. More sightings of aliens in Los Santos, plus could there be some North Yankton DLC on the way? It's all here in this week's GTA 5 O'Clock. Hello and welcome to this week's GTA 5 O'Clock. I'm James Jarvis and I'm joined, as always, by co-host Dan Dawkins. Hello Dan.
Hello there.
Dan, before we get on to aliens, North Yankton DLC and a couple of other details, we've got a big competition prize to give away.
Yep, we've got a really exciting official Rockstar prize to give away, and in fact it's not just a prize, it's prizes, because we've got 5 goodie bags to give away. But I will add, we're not just giving them away all just now. We're going to be giving them away over the next few weeks, including on some of our live plays on Fridays at 4 PM BST.
GMT now, Dan.
GMT, is it?
We've changed the clocks.
GMT, that's thrown me off. So yeah, please do subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. Loads of great goodie bags to give away. You will win in each goodie bag, deep breath, t-shirt. Now I've seen some of those t-shirts. They're nice enough to actually wear. That's a genuine recommendation. Character stickers, logo stickers like GTA 5 logo, a logo keyring. It's really tasteful. It's really nice. I use it on my own keys. A Chop Dog stash toy.
That's right.
That's amazing.
Stashing your drugs or your monies.
An air freshener for your car or for your bike if you decide that's what you like. A USB gold bar. They're really lovely. They're like gold bullions.
They're quite heavy as well. They're quite
genuinely
chunky.
Heavy. Not gold, I will add. They're gold coloured bar, but they're quite nice. A yoga mat.
Yep, in the style of a banknote, I think.
Tasteful. I was going to say like Amanda uses, but maybe not a banknote one. Then you've got a long sleeve t-shirt, again very nice. An iPhone case,
which has the iFruit logo on it, so make your iPhone into an iFruit phone.
Super nice. And you've got a kitchen timer. Now I know kitchen timer, you might go, oh, grown kitchen timer. There's only 15 of these left, so I'm not sure every goodie bag will come with them. So these are ultra exclusive.
Yeah, and they're in the style of a like a combination lock, or that you stick on something and then you turn it as you would do to twist your combination lock around, but actually it's counting down to tell you when your chips are ready. Incredible.
Then you've got a lighter, you've got a Bugstar keyring, and then finally a GTA 5 magnet. So it's a really cracking goodie bag. I haven't seen the bag yet, but if it's like anything like the other Rockstar stuff, it even comes in a Rockstar branded brown bag.
Yeah. It's similar to the prize pack giveaway that Rockstar did on their social club. We've got a picture of that. It's not quite the same. Obviously, some of our stuff is new and exciting, but you can see a picture of the Chop Dog and a couple of the keyrings on there.
So obviously you want it. Obviously, how do you win it? You ask. Well, it's very simple. All you need to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below, just saying something about why or how or what you want the goodie bag for.
Yeah.
Just do something that will stand out and impress us without being so showy we have to call the police. And if you reference GTA 5 goodie bag in that sentence,
yeah, put that at the end.
Yeah, we will know how to pick it out. So it's as simple as that. Please let your friends know. This is a genuinely brilliant prize, and we will be giving more away. Please do subscribe. Plugging ends.
Plugging ends. So there we go. So that's the goodie bag. And yeah, as Dan says, we have got a few more, so stay tuned to the show to find out how you can win the other ones. This is just number 1 of 5 that we'll be giving away. So Dan, on to the main meat of today's show. Let's kick it off with aliens. Now, aliens are quite a big part of GTA 5's story and mystery. We've seen quite a lot of them in the main game. Hopefully this isn't spoilers, because it starts.
Yeah, potential gentle spoilers ahead for anyone who hasn't finished a single player yet.
But this happens relatively early on in the story. You see aliens come in grassroots, where you meet, as Michael, you meet a guy named Barry who's trying to sell you, or trying to legalise marijuana, and he gives you a little puff on his naughty cigarette, and then weirdly these aliens disappear and you have to shoot them all with a giant minigun.
It's a hyper surreal moment, but yeah, there is a link between the aliens throughout the game, because you were saying obviously the first chance you get to see aliens in the game, not that it's obvious, is during the North Yankton prologue. We've had this video on the channel which you can check out, maybe with a link on screen. You can see an alien under the ice. If you jump out of the car as you're driving along when you're being pursued, you go under one of the bridges and you can see an alien underneath the ice. What is quite weird, actually, I don't know if you've tried this, James. Again, this is a mild story spoiler. Later in the game, when you return to North Yankton, you can go under the ice again, and the same alien is still there. And that's set 9 years on. So, in all that time in North Yankton, nobody was bothered to either defrost it, look for him. He's exactly there. I think it's part of the nature of asset production. But,
I think there's a news report in there somewhere, or they should have made it into like a thing. Go and see the alien under the ice.
Exactly, and it's actually an easier way to see it, because when you try to do it in the prologue, it sometimes like it invalidates your progress, but it's easier to see it during the mission later on, because you're a little bit more free to go places. Not entirely, but a little bit more free.
So the aliens turn up again. Michael gets abducted this time in a mission called Did Somebody Say Yoga, where Jimmy gives Michael some of his drugs and he drinks it in a cup, and then the next thing you know, you're being abducted by aliens and waking up in your pants afterwards. So that's like, there seems to be a big connection with Michael and aliens and general sort of UFO type things going on in the game.
Yeah, and obviously, like, this is all linking to the grand overarching Mount Chiliad conspiracy that we've reported on previously on the on our Twitter at GTAV o'clock. Obviously, we've written a big story on CVG that's been very popular. Lots of people have replied, hundreds of replies, in fact. It's all tying up, and again, it all links out to videos of confirmed UFOs in the world that you can also find on the channel. Hopefully, links on screen. It's all like there's a bigger picture here. Is what we're trying to get at.
Yeah, and somehow the ultimate goal for a lot of people on GTA forums and things is to, they hope, eventually pilot the UFO somehow by unlocking the Mount Chiliad mystery or doing something special, and somehow it will just appear. But no one's found out how to do it yet. I'm dubious to whether that's a thing that's going to happen. But there are other alien things in the game, right, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of alien things. What we're going to do is we're going to round up some new clues in the breakthrough to sort of crack the Mount Chiliad mural and round up some of the existing clues. You might have seen on the site that James did something called like the GTA Alien Trail, which is a really short 3-4 minute video taking you along the main route sort of that Rockstar want you to find and see various UFO related paraphernalia. What we're trying to crack is what we think is a puzzle linked to the Mount Chiliad mural, where at the bottom of it there's 3 boxes, with one's got like basically like a stick character with a jetpack. So we think that, you know, one of the key unlocks is a jetpack. That was the key item in GTA San Andreas. It still seems to me like surely they would have included it, but we have it an impasse in terms of clues and piecing together structure, because we have found what looks like to be 3 UFOs elsewhere in the game. One off the very northern coast underwater.
Yep.
There's one sort of almost directly above the hippie camp, where if you take a chopper above the horizon line, so the word San Andreas appears, you will see like a helicopter, not a chopper, what they call a UFO, a UFO, Dan, a UFO, and then again just over the directly above the military base,
Fort
Zancudo.
Yeah.
Again, there's flashing lights that sort of dictate its presence. It's fiddly to find, but it is there. We found all those. We can't fly them. They are different types of UFO, and it's worth noting that 2 of them are like 1960 style UFOs. Because one appears above Mount Chiliad as well. Sorry, so there's like 3 flying ones. One crashed. So the 2 of them are like 1960 style one with an FIB logo on it, which is weird. Whether it's just a fun piece of Easter egg stuff, we don't know. And we've talked about this on the show before, so you'll know that. What we're here to do is to reveal some new clues. The new alien paintings. Now, yeah, on the Alien Trail video that I did, you can find some towers with some alien paintings on, and on top of those towers there's some arrows that point you in certain directions. Now, if you follow these directions, you get to another tower. Yeah. And
then from there, we got a bit lost and couldn't really work out where to go next. But some people have sent us in some interesting images. I think Frank Doe on Twitter sent us some pictures of alien images which he found in and around Los Santos, so not even out in Blaine County. There was one of it on the side of a building, what looked like a dinosaur type alien picture.
Yeah, it was like a sort of Cloverfield style mega alien or something. Like really, again, I don't know what it relates to, but it's a really cool piece of graffiti.
There's lots of other little alien hints and dinosaur related things as well scattered around the city. But other people have sent us the location. I think Sharpie and Tim Houlihan pointed us towards this location that you can see on screen now, where there's these 2 giant water towers which have loads and loads of alien symbols on and everything, and you can't go inside them. You can climb up to the top of them, but there's nothing on the top of them, and it's just another indication that there is some kind of alien link in all of this.
Yeah, now the most tantalising clue by far is we were sent a link to a video, it's a German YouTuber called German Elite PS3, and he's found what he thinks is the jetpack symbol at the altruist camp. Now, again, it's not 100% tangible, but when you look at it, it's like you go to the stone at the edge of the camp where you can sort of drop off the edge, and if you look, it's like a shadow burnt into the rock, and if you like align it with the actual symbol you see on the egg, it looks like it's the same etchings as the jetpack.
It does, Dan.
Yes.
Once he has drawn it on and shown it to your eyes. I'm not sure. I think it could maybe just be some shadows, and then once you know, like when you do an outline of something and everyone's suddenly like, oh yeah, that is there. I'm 50-50 on this. Like it sort of ties in. It's where the arrows are pointing. They do point to the altruist camp. Yeah. There is other symbology there, and things relating to the aliens and the sun and stuff. Like it seems like a big hive of activity, but I'm just not sure that this is actually an outline of the jetpack. And even if it is, what does it mean?
Well, all it means, if it's true, it proves that we're not onto a completely dead end. I would say. I'd say that they're repeating that can't even say it. Symbology, is that a word?
I think that's a word. Yeah.
I've invented that word.
Let's go for that.
Again, and that would be useful. But I mean, what is clear is that after a really big set of breakthroughs early on, where we'd found these 3 aerial UFOs, some of them are very awkward to find. Like the Mount Chiliad one, you've got 100% the game. Go back a certain time of night with the characters. It's not an easy thing to find. So what makes me discouraged is that the entire world's been looking for the jetpack, and we still haven't found it. Now, again, whether it's something conditional, we've had some people mail in and say, oh, I've cracked it. There's a secret 70th mission, you've got to use Trevor. And it just seems so tenuous. I just didn't know, it didn't ring true to me.
And I think for something, as you say, that's in the main game that triggers, you'd think more than one person would have found it by now, and it would be out there and people would know how to do it. I mean, because the UFOs came out, 5 days after the game came out?
Within a week of really the game coming out. So it does feel like we've hit an impasse. I do also believe that it's possible we have missed something, because the internet's quite good at copying itself. And generally what it is like in the world, literally a handful of dedicated individuals will put their time into finding a thing. Then that thing they find or record sort of gets passed into internet folklore. So suddenly everyone accepts that's the thing to find. And that's self-reinforcing, where everyone goes, we found it all now, that's the end of it. But it's just maybe the smart enough or dedicated enough people aren't looking. Because when people are looking, we keep constantly get people going, I found something. But then they'll send us the same picture of the cave on Mount Chiliad that people were looking at a month ago.
Yeah, there's a lot of repeated stuff. And it happens even on the forums as well and stuff. You'll get 20 pages of investigations, and then the 21st page will just be the first page repeated again. Yeah, here's some new stuff. And it's
exactly. So, and we've had it the same with there's rumours of a T-Rex, and there's like a T-Rex diner. People were saying there's that. There was some big fake went around about using your phone to ring and see a T-Rex. Really well orchestrated fake, but it looks like a fake. And then somebody sent us a really nice picture. I don't know if it's Edward Rose sent us a really nice picture of a T-Rex footprint in the sand outside the T-Rex diner. And again, that was certainly a cute Easter egg touch I hadn't seen. I'm not saying it proves there's a T-Rex in the game, but it does show that, again, Rockstar are forcing you to think, and there's still stuff to find. And we've had the same thing with the Infinite 8 Killer and all the different, the threads of that. That's a huge game, and I think people are like, I don't know if anyone's truthfully combed every single inch. Other people have speculated, there's underwater tubes you need to swim through. Again, I've barely touched the underwater sections.
Well, it hardly makes you go under there in the main game. I mean, there's only a few missions that actually take place underwater. And as you say, there's a huge expanse of water. Just, Rockstar were very keen to point out when they were making this game that the underwater sections are huge and there's loads to find under there. And apart from the UFO, there's not really been very much anything else discovered down there, I don't think. So, go underwater.
Yeah, I say again, we might, instead of looking up, we might have to look down, and this might all tie into this grand theory that, the jetpack or the flyable UFOs under Mount Chiliad. There's no proof of that. We don't know. Again, it's unsure. I mean, I've approached Rockstar basically to say, in so many words, are we wasting our time? Now, the thing about Rockstar is you've got to understand is they're never going to say yes or no, because they know that this mythologizing around, certainly in San Andreas when you talked about, Leatherface, Bigfoot, all these different things.
Ghost cars.
It took years and years and years for anyone officially from Rockstar to say yes or no to various different theories, and some of them they never really answered. And I think, again, they just, certainly now, the game's only been out literally, again, a couple of months. Like, there's no way they're going to say, yeah, you're wasting your time, don't bother.
No.
There's no way. They're going to want people to play it, to search it. Who knows what else lies within. One of the interesting tweets we received, and I've had this from two different people, is someone saying, oh, the Rockstar lead artist came to see us at our school, and he told us we just put the mural in just to F with people. Now, to me, that seems like a pretty cruel thing. It's not like a hidden mural. It's the first thing you see when you go up in the cable car.
Yeah, but it is entirely possible that it is there, and it's just it's a brilliant thing because it makes people search then forever to find a thing that is just not there. But people are always going to talk about it, and especially if we never find it, like us every week, especially if we never find it, it'll be a thing that is always out there. Like, is there a jetpack in GTA 5? And it'll be a continuous question for the rest of time.
So my focus would be: are we missing something underwater? Possibly. Are we missing something conditional, like trying certain characters, certain weather types, certain times? Possibly. They're the only things I can suggest, and I still feel like we've never got the most from the buggy that unlocks when you can find all the UFO pieces for Omega. That still to me feels like just a sort of slightly dead-end curio thing. Whether there's more to that, I don't know, but for now, yes, we still haven't found the jetpack, but people are still finding cool things in the environment. Not least, we got sent a brilliant piece of Red Dead Redemption style mural painting. So again, please keep sending us this stuff to @GTAV o'clock. We'll feature it on the show and carry on doing so.
Alright, so that's Aliens for now. We'll leave them. We'll go on to the possibility of future DLC. Now, obviously, it's coming. Rockstar are obviously going to make DLC for GTA 5. This rumour is surrounding North Yankton, which is the place where the prologue takes place, which is based on North Dakota, which is near the Canadian border, but not actually in Canada. There's loads of research done about this on GTA forums, other places on the internet. What do you think, Dan? Do you think North Yankton is a suitable place for some DLC just up front?
Well, yes, in terms of some of the stuff we're going to describe, but I want to caveat everything we're going to say with, well, first of all, potential spoilers ahead. If it is turn out to be true, you may be ruining a piece of DLC for yourself, so you don't listen for 10 minutes. Also, James, can you clarify exactly where this rumour's originated from and how?
Yes, right. So, up top, North Yankton is where the prologue takes place. Trevor comes back here later in the game in the Bury the Hatchet mission, where Trevor returns to Michael's grave and they have a little dig around in there.
Yeah.
North Yankton's got its own Snapmatic hashtag as well, but your camera phone doesn't work in that location during the game missions right now. But the actual rumour is, I found it on GTA forums, and there's a big thread on there called searching for North Yankton.
Yeah, it just seemed like GTA forums is the heart of a lot of the greatest work, including the mapping work that was done that was impeccable. Yeah. So much great investigative work on GTA forums, but this has come up. Now, whether this has come up there because that's just where people go to do it, or whether because somebody knows that's a credible place to plant something or to make themselves famous, I don't know. Sorry, continue with what you were saying.
Well, there was one guy in this thread that people started looking for it, going, can we fly the plane out to where you fly the plane in the Bury the Hatchet mission and find where, because obviously these models exist in the game somewhere, Like they have to exist for you to be able to go and access them and play on them. So
Yeah.
people are trying to find it.
This is it. There's a North Yankton map that you see in the prologue, but when you go back there in the second mission, like James just said, the second time, you press start and there's a scrollable map, and it's got it's not huge, but it's like 2 or 3 screen widths. It's got like the one main road through, a couple of side tributaries, there's shops, and there's even like you're forced to go right to the graveyard, but it looks like there's like a town in front, and there's like a sort of cinema building or some sort of place like that. It looks like there's more to it. They've built it and they've mapped it. So that's the thing that is a bit suspicious. I think.
And that, you know, gives credibility to the fact that maybe the DLC is going to be based here because these assets already exist. They've already built it. It's a place that you could return to, do missions in and things. So there is one guy on the GTA forums who says that with the title updates that you get with GTA 5, he's managed to crack them open and find code within these title updates that have been left behind, so they're not active in the game at the moment, that details a lot of the assets that are going to be used in the DLC. Now, I'm not computer savvy enough to know if that's possible or how you do it, but a lot of the people replying to his posts and things were just asking for evidence, and that evidence has never really seemed to materialise into anything that you could go, well, that is absolute fact.
He's printed long lines of code that I'm not technical enough to say if they're true or not. They certainly look plausible, but again, it could be someone who knows how to code, who knows how to create this entirely from scratch, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, well, you can definitely type the code and you can put in any text that you want and make it look like a piece of
and you can
code.
screen cap it yourself and completely originate a fake, so I completely get that.
So should we go into what kind of things have been coming out allegedly? Briefly?
We'll talk through the kind of stuff he's extracted from it, and again, part of the credibility or not of it comes from the fact that he's extracted it, like the meanings from, like, you know, / something, and he's saying, could this mean this, could mean that. We'll put the link on the screen so you can go and check it out yourself. And
it's in the description as well. So the things that seem to have been uncovered are some characters, some new weapons, some clothing, some bits of storyline, some dialogue is in there. It appears from the stuff that he says he's found is going to be a big chunk of single player DLC, and then it will probably spill over to online where you'll get different missions and things. I'm going to put it out there. I don't think this is real, but you're still on the edge, right, Dan?
Tell you what I think is that if you take the assumption it's fake, it's a very plausible fake. First of all, in terms of location, because there is some precedence that exists within the game. There is some mileage in the characters we're about to discuss and the reasons for reintroducing them or looking at them in a different way. There is some sense, and there is a history of things, you know, from games being found in a similar fashion, being taken out of code, and quite often they do leave in, you know, the way they'll add title updates is they'll go, well, we know this piece of code is coming, so we'll put this asset reference to another thing because that will work in later on. It's just like a code legacy thing, thinking no one will ever find it. So a lot of those things are plausible. So now we'll hit, I suppose, the main beef of who's going to star in it, you know, and what it's going to be about, really.
Okay. Well, it looks like there's going to be 3 main protagonists in this supposed DLC. One of which, Nico Bellic, is returning.
Right.
The other will be Michael from GTA 5, and then the third guy will be Rick Chance, who looks like is a guy who goes around making counterfeit money. In that sense, those 3 characters could exist in the world together. Nico could have moved to North Yankton, I guess. There's a lot of other returning characters. Roman is back, allegedly. And there's some storyline spoilers in there. We've got a guy called Henry. There's Jessica. Gay Tony possibly could return as well in that universe. Brucey is back. There's a
Garage Brucey.
Yes.
Garage Brucey.
Bless you, Dan.
Yeah.
Johnny Klebitz, who we know is in GTA 5 for a brief moment before he's whacked by Trevor.
Now, what's interesting is I thought he referred to him as Does it refer to him as a corpse, or is the Lewis corpse?
Yeah, I think there's a Lewis corpse. I think Johnny Klebitz returns in one of the other characters, like drug trips, allegedly.
Right.
So it's more like a flashback type thing.
Right, with you.
And there's loads of other like new locations, like a dinghy house. There's a crack den. Nico has a special ability which seems to be like triggered by some kind of depression, and apparently his special ability freezes time, and then every kill he gets will increase his health, and he can move through the world in normal time while everything else is slowed down.
Doesn't that just sound like Michael's special ability? Except for Michael's isn't called depression.
yeah, it does sound pretty much like his. I mean, this, the Michael and Nico character traits from the lists of code that's been printed look very similar.
Yeah, I mean, again, if this is invented, it's not a very imaginative special ability. Apart from the fact it's called depression, which is weird, the actual mechanics of it are just lifted. Again, whether someone's created, I think it's literally just this, or someone's created it because it sounds more grounded, but in fact it's not changed enough to be credible. That's the realm of rumour and speculation for you. But the overall story seems to be that Nico Bellic, I guess after the sort of various sad stories of Liberty City, has gone out to North Yankton massively depressed, got involved with a guy who's like dealing spank and all various different things, and Nico is really down and sad. And there's even some joke about him involving like dirty magazines and tissues, like his life's been reduced to ceaseless masturbation and drug dealing and being sad.
Yeah, I mean, Nico is mentioned in GTA 5, as we know, in a cutscene. You've got the IT guy who helps everyone out plan the heist, whose name is Dan.
Sorry? What? in GTA 5?
Yeah.
Lester,
yeah. You've got... Lester mentions him. He says, there was a guy making noises in Liberty City, but now he's gone quiet. He's briefly hinted at. So it wouldn't be a massive surprise if they brought him back. But, it's just another... It's another tangible thing that you could go, oh yeah, that makes sense.
And they pulled some other things out of the code. They said there's going to be various weapons, SMG and MP40, a brick. It says possible dismemberment. I don't quite know what that means, whether it means using other weapons or,
I think there was a dismemberment tag as like, if you hit someone with this, possibly their arm falls off. But...
Sniper rifle, chainsaw. Well, a chainsaw is obviously the ultimate weapon of dismemberment. Heat-seeking rocket launcher, Thompson submachine gun, brass knuckles and a knuckle duster. So yeah, quite a lot of things there. Again, it's all plausible. You can't say yes or no either way. There's also, James, there's some quotes, but apparently from the DLC itself. Do you want to read some out?
Yeah. So one of which looks like it's from Michael, and he says, "I came back here to North Yankton to teach Jimmy about becoming a real man. He needed to stop playing that video game and start doing some manual labour." Again, a plausible thing that Michael might do to try and get Jimmy out of San Andreas and take him somewhere else.
Snowy and rural.
Yeah, to make him, get a job and do some proper hard work.
There's another one that says, "You effing junkie, Rick. You and Michael both really fit together. You're both cynical. Just leave me alone." Now, that sounds like Nico talking to Michael and this Rick Chance character who makes counterfeit cash. Again, plausible within its own world. It's not sizzling dialogue, but it is all sensible and tying up. There's a quote from Bruce, or is this Brucey?
It's Bruce and Nico having an argument, which could happen again.
Yeah, he says, "I made you money, I made your life here easier when you came to North Yankton looking for peace." Which again sort of ties in with this idea of he's come out to, I don't know, smoke weed and escape and break away from Liberty City life. Yeah. And
then Nico goes, "F you. You honestly believe you made my life easier? I've been getting high every effing day so the pain would stop. Are you effing crazy? Just because I sell your spank doesn't mean I owe you anything. You still owe me money."
Then Brucey says, "All you immigrants are the same. Pathetic. You don't even deserve to live." Which again ties in with the depression theme. I mean, this sounds like a really depressing piece of DLC if it's true. Like, Nico wallowing around in the snow in like rural America, selling drugs, and I don't know. I guess it depends on what would be Rockstar's reasons for exploring this thing. Apart from bringing Nico back, which fans would like, it's what they think they want to say, what they want to do, or what mission types they want to create, with this. And I guess that would be driving the ulterior motives. What kind of gameplay would this drive?
Yeah, because I mean, you're obviously not going to be doing heists or anything like that. So it needs to hang around some kind of central pillar. I guess Nico's just going out doing drug deals and things.
Yeah, it sounds quite grubby and provincial. There's a quote from Nico saying, "You better pull that effing trigger. Put me out of my misery. If you don't pull the trigger, I'll break every last bone in your body and leave you in the snow." So the snow at least ties up to the location, like we said.
Yeah.
And then there's a quote which looks like a Michael quote. And he says, "I usually leave lawn mowing to my housekeepers in Rockford Hills, but I'll give this race a go." Which to me sounds like a pretty terrible piece of written dialogue. It's quite plausible.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing that I don't... Would you ever see that in GTA? Like, they never say anything like that, do they?
No, but then I probably not isolated and printed out and written down certain non-contextual lines in GTA 5, because the dialogue in GTA 5 can be great, but then it can also be pretty banal, so it's difficult without seeing it in its proper context to say either way, really.
Then there was also been some revelations on new radio stations, which again is extremely... It's a big leap to think that there'll be a whole load of new radio stations, given the fact that when the GTA 5 soundtrack came out, there was a lot of people going, "Hey, I'm involved with it, I've done this, I've been working with this," and all of these people, you'd imagine, have to be new artists.
Yeah,
well,
I don't think that is such a big leap, because if you look at the history of Gay Tony and Lost and Damned, they did have entirely new soundtracks. So I think if this is a significant piece of DLC, which is an assumption, for it to come with a selection of, let's say, 25 to 30, whatever it is, new tracks, I don't think that's too big a thing.
All right, well then we'll soldier on. So one of the radio stations is called Dutch Voyeur 95.1, which sounds German.
Yeah.
Some German techno electro funk on there or something.
Yeah, Deutsch Voyeur 95.1.
There you are.
Yeah, see, I'm doing it already.
There's a North Yankton PR, which is probably North Yankton Public Radio, like a talk station. Yeah. Homeland 82.3. Could that be Russian? I mean, the only reason I think that could be Russian is because Nico's like in it. He's not from Russia, but it's got that Russian tinge to it. Electric Drop 95.7 sounds a bit techno-y.
Yeah.
Strings Unleashed 82.9, which could be classical or like electric classical.
Yeah.
Something like Lindsay Sterling.
Yeah.
A bit of nice cool violin stuff in there. Better Days FM. No idea what that could be. Want to take a guess, Dan?
It just sounds like something cheerful,
happy and sunny.
Yeah, I mean, given that Nico, if this is all true and he's in a dark place, he might occasionally want to put on Better Days FM. That's sort of like Bill Withers' Lovely Days style stuff to me. That's like cheerful, classic, that kind of thing.
There's two more. There's Yankton Ent, which is probably Yankton Entertainment, maybe, where they have film things and other things from the world of GTA, like reviewed and stuff like that. And Northern Rock 96. Should get my numbers right, shouldn't I? Northern Rock 56.1.
Yeah.
Which sounds like a rock radio show. Some people did point out that the frequency of FM don't go into the 50.0 range. So 56.1 doesn't really make any sense, but that's by the by, really. Putting all this together then, Dan, the list of weapons, the returning of Nico, the setting, the winter, the snow, the depression, are you more on board now of that this could be a real thing or not?
I think I'm genuinely 50-50 on it. As in, I think there's a lot of plausibilities in terms of I do think North Yankton feels like a place they could re-explore. My initial thought was really for DLC was that what would be a really cool piece of DLC is to set it even further back in the past when it's Michael, Trevor, and I guess Brad, like as relatively young men, and the story of how they first started pulling heists together, because it allows you to create more heist-based gameplay, puts it in this snowy location. There's lots of fun for interacting with other classic characters from GTA history. That just seems to me like a way to create more of the same fun gameplay you're used to. Setting back, it's within its own lore. It makes sense. Certainly, North Yankton makes sense. I do think bringing Nico Bellic back obviously also makes sense, because that's something people would like. It was like it's Easter eggy. The entire idea of him being very depressed is plausible, but kind of sounds like a terrible idea for a piece of DLC. But you know, again, maybe in context it actually works, and he's only depressed for a very short time, and then things turn around. Or you know, you can't say. But and again, the nature of the code and the way it's extracted, I'm not technical enough to know. If you've got a feeling on this and you've read through the thread, please let us know in the comments. Please get in touch on @GTAVOclock on Twitter or on Facebook, facebook.com/GTAVOclock. You know, I'm really on the fence about this, and again, this is coming, you know, and I did a lot of research and prediction stuff going into the main game itself, and I think we have more right than wrong, even though obviously we were wrong on some things, but a lot of it we were incredibly right. My feeling with this genuinely is 50-50. There's plausibilities, but it's not cast iron just yet. But
I'm leaning towards 70-30 fake at the moment. Just because of the way the stuff is coming out, there only seems to be one source. Normally you'd hope for at least 2 people to be relaying the same kind of information. And as we know, we had a reasonable leak of achievements and things in the lead up to the release of GTA 5, which Rockstar pretty quickly shut down on anyone reporting it. It was removed from all the forums and everything. This has been allowed to run for quite some time, and I think, you know, people at Rockstar keep an eye on forums and things. They know what's going on. I'd suspect if it was all coming out like this, that there would have been some kind of message to be like, you should probably stop doing this.
I mean, the thread's now locked, right? I mean, that's because it went, you know, woefully off topic.
It got a bit derailed.
But it's also difficult for Rockstar, if that's the only source of that thing and Rockstar close it down, it's like a tacit acknowledgement of it being true. So it's a really difficult thing. Where I think the achievements thing, started with Xbox 360 achievements, but then sort of spread, and it felt like they had to act and lock it down, particularly so close to the release of the game. Yeah. Maybe they think they can leave this in the ether and it will just blow away. Or maybe, you know, maybe it's nonsense, like you say. Maybe it is nonsense.
Well, I guess we'll see. If this video is still up and you're still listening to it, then take from that what you will.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I've always thought a good avenue for DLC would be a prequel set around their original adventures. That's my one good idea for prequel stuff, single player stuff. Online, they've already effectively confirmed to myself and, you know, and Tim, God bless him, saying, you know, they're going to revisit previous locations from the series and online. So you could only expect it to be Liberty City, Vice City, other areas of San Andreas like Las Venturas or San Fierro, possibly even somewhere a little bit abstract within the universe like Casa City or something like that. You don't know. I mean, Casa City is mentioned again within GTA 5 at different junctures.
Okay, well, let's wrap that up right there. Just a couple of quick things before we leave. Dan, you've seen a video you'd like people to point people towards, or not point people towards?
This is one for UK listeners and viewers. There's a video doing the rounds called the British Gas Rampage. If you live in Britain, you'll know that the energy utility suppliers keep ramping up energy prices to the point where, you know, gas and electricity is one of the most significant monthly expenses, in fact the most outside of mortgage for literally almost everyone. So there's a video of an old lady playing GTA, going on a sort of not an explicit rampage, but using Trevor to create mayhem, and she's pretending that the pedestrians and people are workers of British Gas. I will note it's extremely sweary. It's funny, but it's extremely sweary. Do not watch it around young people, or even with your own eyes if you're easily offended. Yes. But yeah, check out the link. Nothing to note is that Rockstar have released some details about their forthcoming Beach Bum pack for GTA Online. James done a little video on it. Please follow the link out to that. That's definitely happening soon. Finally, Rockstar have just released some financials, or rather Take-Two, Rockstar's parent company, have released some financials. They've shipped 29 million copies of GTA 5 in less than 6 weeks, which means they've already eclipsed the lifetime sales of GTA 4. Lifetime sales of GTA 4, like 5 years on plus, in 6 weeks. That's utterly mind-blowing. It's the power of GTA 5. It's genuinely been a phenomenon, and it will also say, with that big an install base, will there be DLC? God, yes. Will GTA Online keep going? absolute shoo-in, because there's that bigger base. It's the thing in all of games, and that's, you know, and also to me says, yes, there's a lot of copies sold, there's an appetite. We've always talked about there being a next gen version. Let's see how things develop.
Alright, Dan, so that's this week's GTA 5 o'clock. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Put your comment below with the giveaway hashtag we said at the beginning to win the GTA goodie bag. And don't forget to join us on Friday, and in fact every Friday, where we are live streaming GTA Online at 4 PM GMT, 11 AM EDT and 8 AM PDT. We probably will give away another goodie bag on that live stream.
I think it's quite possible. We've got a finite number to give away, but we're thinking, yeah, we could do it then. We might even be able to. We'll see how many replies we get. But if we get a lot of replies, maybe we could even announce live on air the winner of a goodie bag. So that would be quite exciting.
Yeah, lots of big things planned for the live show. A couple of new little things in there. Hopefully you're really going to love it. So make sure you join in for that, and we'll see you then.